and welcome to Buildings of Tomorrow. My name is John Lester, and in this episode, we'll be talking about building information modeling and the importance of BuildingSMART International as an industry body to help us adopt this into the future. I'm joined in the studio by Wolfgang Huss, a member of the Strategic Advisory Council of BuildingSMART International. Wolfgang, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hello.
Why is BuildingSMART International so important for our industry?
Yeah, I believe that our industry needs a platform where we can discuss our future, our digitalization, our BIM approach on a neutral level. Because these changes, they are not driven by one company here, it's the complete community. And so starting from architects via planner, designer, contractors, and so on, down to the long phase of facility management, everybody has to be involved, and we need a platform to discuss the new approach.
Okay, so in the past, as you mentioned in previous episodes, BIM has been around for a while, but the focus has been different, and this is starting to change today.
Yeah, it's much more focused on data in general. Yeah, so we talked about the digital twin and the need of standardization, but somewhere the standardization has to come from. And BuildingSMART International is a platform to discuss the needs for standardization, content, and so on. And there are so many people worldwide involved, and it's so well accepted. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, to work with BuildingSMART on these issues. And we were quite successful. For example, IFC standard or COBE and so on. These standards are coming from BuildingSMART. And now we have to step into the next phase, because IFC, it's an exchange format to exchange data from one software package, from one CAD system to the other and so on. But now we have to define a more content belonging to the object, because today it's very much driven by the construction industry, concrete, steel, facade. I mentioned these before. And there is no dynamics. And now we need also attributes for our objects describing the functionality and real-time values. Because at the end, the facility manager wants to have not just a static view to the building, they want to have a dynamic view with actual data coming out of the process. And therefore we need standards, because we cannot adapt all the tools to individual databases. Yeah, that's too expensive. Yeah. And there are so many automatism possible if the data is standardized, so that we can really or should really invest there. And now it's time that the technical disciplines like electricity, HVAC, security, and so on, that they are stepping into this BIM process, because today the standardization or the proposals for standardizations are made more or less from the construction industry, and they did a good job. Yeah, but now we have to take over these, and we have to add our wishes and needs to these standards. That's very important.
Okay, so up until now, BIM has been driven by the builders using steel and concrete, as you said, and obviously there's a big difference between what we need to know about concrete and steel and what we need to know about functional systems, operational technologies. Yeah. Is it the manufacturer's responsibility, as together with BuildingSMART, to make this happen?
I think it's the responsibility of everybody who is involved in the complete process, because somewhere everything has to work together somewhere, somehow. Yeah. And so nobody is really isolated in the building here. So it has always an influence. So it's good having everybody in the same boat, talking in the same direction. Yeah. And this would help everybody, especially those who are responsible for the operational phase. And you know these numbers: 20% of the cost of a building are during the popping up during design and build, and 80% during the operational cost. Yeah, and so you can see the importance having good data, having a good operation to save money. It's not just the first phase.
Great. And you mentioned some standards, IFC standards and COBE. So is it BuildingSMART working to expand these standards to absorb more detail?
Well, BuildingSMART is, let's say, the platform to define proposals for the standardization. And the proposals are usually so good that they are taken over by the standardization bodies. So it's a good platform. And for a good preparation for these standards, you need collaboration of all the partners. And there, I think it's very important. It's not a national issue. It's an international one. That's very important. BuildingSMART is international. And the other one is it's quite cost intensive. So you need people who are working for free in these bodies. Yeah. It's not a company issue. It's not a company who can define these standards. It's a community. And that's very important. But it's very well established in BuildingSMART, and it's a big group. And BuildingSMART is present in so many countries. There are so many groups in the countries working on country-specific stuff, yeah, which should, of sure, fit to the international regulations, yeah. And there are twice a year there are big summits, yeah. The next one is in Germany, in Düsseldorf, and we're expecting about 600 specialists there, and for 4 days they are discussing about the new needs. And as I said before, everybody's there. There are customers, operators, designers, architects. Yeah, it's a really good platform.
Okay, so BuildingSMART International is not just a global organization, but there are local chapters within the countries where BIM is important.
Yeah, the real work is done in the countries, and BuildingSMART International is coordinating the countries and it's giving a platform for the international talks. But the real work is done in the countries or in a couple of countries, so they're working together. So there is a Scandinavian, a Nordic cluster. They're working together, or the German-spoken ones. So there are some countries which are preparing proposals.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you all for joining us on Buildings of Tomorrow. Please feel free to like, comment, or share this episode, and also subscribe to us here on this channel. I look forward to seeing you soon.